So, hey, welcome to the training portion of this. Like I said at the first meeting, we are going to give you a little bit of a different training. If you've been on these the last 3 to 4 weeks, we go through the entire, really the packet line by line and help you understand how to do the training. We have done a recorded version of that, so we're going to walk you through a little bit of that as well today. So you should have received an email that looks just like this, right? This is fairly new, like within the last probably 3 or 4 weeks. So whoever sponsored you would highlight this, copy it, paste it, and send it to you. Don't worry if you didn't get it, because we're going to walk you through on how to obtain this if you've not received this yet. You'll see at the bottom of this email here, and again, you want to make sure that you pay attention to this, because as you put people in, you'll want to copy and paste this thing in its entirety. But at the bottom, where we've got this arrow here, it says, watch this 20-minute video to walk you through the X39. This is a team link below, and this is a YouTube video, right? So now as you receive this, it's going to tell you how to get started, right, by clicking on that 5-tab document, your back office, but then you click that. And then this next slide here, it's going to take you right to this onboarding document. Now, real quick, if you did not receive that and you don't have access to the Google Doc yet for whatever reason, go ahead and scan that QR code with your phone or your iPad, and then you'll be able to have access to that Google Doc going forward. And you can share that with others. Now, if we can go back one more, Greg, at the bottom of this Google Doc, if you're used to this, you'll see an extra area that we put on there. And that is the onboarding training Zoom to go through worksheets. So that's a YouTube video link that I just talked about that's in the new onboarding email that we're going to send people. So that link is right there for you. So now that you've downloaded that, you have that link and you can send this out. So the next couple pages here, we're going to show you here is next page. The next one here is if you look at the bottom, this is exactly what that document looks like with the 5 tabs below. So the first tab says new to Lifewave, and then we go over all that with the training. The next slide talks about the tracker, right? We showed you this in our last video, the introduction, but this is going to talk about the tracker and how to use that and how to print it. The next slide here, as you see, that's the Zoom schedule that you have got all the links for it that the training is going to go over. The next one is going to be the onboarding checklist. So this typically is what we would go through and train on each one of these on how to look up all these. But I want you to watch that 20-minute video. It's going to walk you and your team through every bit of it every single time. So if you've not gone through it yet, I would suggest it. Pretty simple, but it's something that you want to be able to duplicate that with your team. And then the last one here on launching your business, this is all it looks like on that last page is launch your business. When you click on that, it's a Word document that just gives you 5 pages of different ideas on what you can do to launch your business, including making a list and differences between gold, silver, diamond, all that. It talks about that in the training. But then that second one is the email to your new brand partner. So when you click on that, this is what pops up, right? So we're right at the beginning. So now you signed somebody up. The first thing you do after you sign them up, whether you do it on the computer, you do it in front of them on the iPad, then you go to that tab, you highlight this whole thing, and then where it says name, you change that to their name, and then their back office, their user ID, password, email this to them, invite them to the Zoom, and then tell them on this email, I want you to look at that email, keep this email, go to that YouTube site. That will give them all the training they need to do to get going. We are trying to make this so duplicatable for you, for everybody on your team, so nobody gets in and says, okay, I'm excited about this, but I have no idea where to start. So that's where to go. So please make sure you share that with your team.
So fantastic. And next, obviously, what we always love to do is do recognition. So, and we've been trying to get in stats from a lot of different people because there's a lot of things, moving parts, obviously, with the team now. But the one thing that we always love to do is recognize people for the different levels. And I have Mena talk a little bit more about the different levels here we usually recognize.
Yeah. So when you get started, because, now we saw the presentation, we're ready to get started. So what do we do first? So there are different ranks. Okay. You purchase your package, which is a one-off purchase. And then we get the manager rank and director rank. And really the manager rank and ranks thereafter, but the manager rank is the building block of this business. If you get that right, you can go all the way to the top. So what is manager? You get started. So you're at the top. You decide you're going to get the gold pack because you want to get the gold pack if you're going to be a manager. And that or above. Okay. So then you speak to your friends, and out of all the friends that you share with, you're going to find 4 of those friends. You can find more, but at least 4 silvers or above, 2 on the left and 2 on the right. You place them that way, and then you are a manager. Now you've learned how to do this business. Pretty much it's just duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. So the next thing you do is to get to director. And you then place one or more silvers on the left and right, okay, because you need 3 on the left, 3 on the right, or above. They could be gold or diamond. And you help 2 of the people that you've placed so far to get manager done. So you help your friends get to manager, and then you keep helping people get to manager, and takes you all the way to the top.
Yeah, absolutely. It was interesting because we actually had someone that we mentioned talking about go manager by Sunday. So we said we're recognizing people every Sunday. So she worked hard because she had a couple people in, and then this past week she said, you know what, I want to go manager. So if you want to mention who the person is and talk a little bit about that real quick.
So Clementine or Clementine, sorry, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Clementine Brinson. We are so proud of you. Clementine Brinson was sponsored by Gary Burke, who was actually sponsored by Brendan Duplessis of South Africa. So this business goes all over the world. But Clementine, oh my gosh, she went to town in the first few weeks as she was manager, because her testimony and her husband's testimony are absolutely amazing, and she cannot stop talking to people. So we're super proud of you, Clementine, and we know that you love people, you're passionate about patching them, and you're going to keep going all the way to the top. And so the next step is to recognize you as director very soon.
That's right. And once you're a director, then we want to give you time on this call. So there's a lot of people that are striving for a director to get to basically get to the next level, next level. And this is helping 2 managers. The greatest thing we want to do is think about it this week. How many people do you know that you can help get to the manager level? They're part of your team. You say, you know, if you're not a manager yourself, ask the people to work with you and say, I want to get manager done this week because I want to be recognized next Sunday. That's what you definitely want to do. And obviously this can help a lot of people go to the next level.
And we're proud of Gary Burke.
Yeah, Gary Burke is doing phenomenal. He's gonna be a director very, very soon.
Yeah.
So, which is awesome. He's kicking butt. And so the thing is that Steve and Gina also are doing their wake up call tour. They're going around shaking people going, wake up, this is it. I got the shirt on today. This is it. If you understand it, we got from the convention they did actually the last time we were here in Tampa a year ago. But they're going to be actually in Oklahoma. But not actually, they are. So sorry, Mike and Sayo Hernandez are going to be. They're kind of dividing and conquering. They're going to be in Oklahoma City on Tuesday. If I got this right, yeah, Tuesday, and then on Wednesday they're going to be in Tulsa. But also simultaneously, if you know anyone in Atlanta or any of these other cities, they're going to be actually in Atlanta, Georgia on actually Tuesday this week. And then they're going to be in Sarasota this Saturday for a meeting they're going to do in person in Sarasota. Then they're going to do a 2-hour training afterwards. And then on July 9th, St. Augustine. So the bunch of people you might recognize here. So these are some of the people that are going to be here in Sarasota. I was counting them out. I think a minimum of 5 people that are making over $1 million a year are going to be at that meeting. If you can't be at that meeting, jump on the Zoom. It's going to be live and it's going to be on fire. So definitely be a part of that. And we mentioned this before, but I want my wife to talk about, because one thing we understand is that you go to a convention like this, your life changes. And I got my face here, so I don't know. Hopefully I can do that. But if you want to, pull out your phone, scan it, look at it. I've had some people say, well, I don't know if I can make it. Well, as soon as you say, I don't think I can, guess what happens? Your brain goes, okay, let's focus on something else. If you think, how can I be there? What can I do to get there? And there's people coming in from all over the world, but I want you to talk maybe about this a little bit.
Yeah. So the convention is called Believe. Why? Because you are going to come away from this convention with your belief just exploding. No one's going to stop you. You'll be on fire. And the next thing is you'll be at senior presidential director. But the bottom line is if you don't go, you're not going to get the information. And how do you actually get educated for the job you're going to do or your career? You actually do take time to go to school. And this is once a year. It's 2 days. because it's the Friday, the evening for most people. For those of us who are senior director and above, I believe we have to be there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then it's Saturday all day. We're going to have a meal together. We're going to be rubbing shoulders with the leaders, and it's going to be packed with great information. And you do not want to miss out. On Sunday, there's a faith-based church service. So those of you who are staying over for Sunday, you won't miss out. We're going to hear from Danny McDaniel. He's a pastor. He's an amazing leader in our business. And Steve and Gina are going to be giving their testimony. You want to see David Schmidt in person.
Yeah.
You want to hear from Meredith. You want to hear from the doctors and from professional panels. We are going to get all the information we need to take our businesses to the next level. So don't miss out. Don't get left behind. Go and grow with your team and get new people there.
Yeah. So they talk about the biggest promoters or the biggest pins. And it hit me as we're sitting here right now. I talk about this because I found this the other day. Again, my form that says freedom on there. I was thinking about that. This function was in August. Literally, my dream was freedom. So we worked hard. My wife worked very hard. I worked very hard to get freedom. And in January, I fired my job. Most people get fired from their job. I fired my job because I replaced the income. So literally, that was basically, look at September, October, November, December. So literally, it was 4 months later that we made the decision that we could basically, I could walk away from the job. I literally had a vacation left at the end of the year. And after my vacation, I said, bye-bye, see you later. If you like that idea, I'd recommend going to this convention because that can happen for you. There's a bunch of other people that are there that literally are being totally set free because that's what they want to do. If you don't want that, if you want to continue working what you're doing, you get a business, great. But how many people like the idea of a multiple six-figure residual income? That's what you want to do. So the function itself is at a phenomenal place. It's actually at the Orlando Hilton Buena Vista Palace. Again, just the resort itself is going to be fun, hanging around with people, doing everything else. But again, being there for the convention in person is going to be amazing. Again, the next thing is the trips. This is something that I want you to take advantage of in a huge way. The part that I love about it, I love certain people, they go, I'm there. I don't care what it takes, and I'm going to learn what to do to get there. And we're that mentality. So we've already qualified for 4 trips this year. This is going to be the 5th trip this year. If you understand, the company puts out amazing trips. And so for those people who are in Europe, they are actually going to be going to Marrakesh, Morocco. So we got people that are going to be qualifying for that. And for those in US, Canada, and Mexico are actually going to Punta Cana. So Punta Cana is going to be an amazing event. Like I said, it's going to be at the Hard Rock Casino Hotel Resort there. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be, mark this out. So if you got a job, mark these dates out. Say, you know what, I'm taking a vacation that week, and you're going to get a paid vacation because when you make the time, there's people that are booking flights already. Because they actually pay for your flights. They reimburse you for any flights you take. Once again, which is kind of cool. But the qualification period started April 29th. It ends September 1st. We still got the rest of June, July, and August to basically do this. So we basically got another, over 2 months left to actually accomplish this. Most programs like this, they give you only like 6 weeks to accomplish like that. I mean, so for this, they've given us extra time, and people are already qualifying for this. If you go to the resort and watch a video on this resort, you'll be amazed. It's one of the top resorts in the Dominican Republic. People say it's really the best place to be in the Dominican Republic, and it's stunning. They got 13 stunning pools. The food, everything's all included, all inclusive. Well, I remember with Josh and Paula, we had a hibachi there that we had such a great time actually in Cancun, and they're gonna have the same type of thing, obviously there. So again, every room has a hot tub. So if you like the idea of chilling with your wife or your spouse or whatever in a hot tub in your own room, in your own privacy, and everything, it's kind of cool. So there's a tracker. You're going to want to keep track of it, basically a tracker that has all your information, and print that off. And then you can download it, scan it, or you can go to This Is a Team downloads. You can watch the video that we now have on there that basically Josh did a few weeks ago that shows all the different things, and even goes over this during that one. But pull out your phone, scan this right now so that you can actually pull it up and then print it off, and then start filling it out. We just had some people, like I said, go diamond or sign up new diamonds this past week. And what's great is that they're not got extra 4 points towards this trip, which is kind of cool at 5 points. But just to give you an idea, the best way to go is get senior director done, right, Chuck? So once again, get basically 6 weeks during this time. You can qualify literally over the next few weeks and qualify 6 weeks and actually qualify that way. Or you can earn points by basically becoming a manager and actually keep on ranking manager. You can get some by basically personally ranking up your position. If you become a manager, you get 2 points. If you become a director, you get 4 points. If you actually help someone sign up as a silver, you get 1 point. You sign up a gold, 2 points. If you sign up a diamond, you get 4 points. If they become a manager, you get 2 points for that. So we get all these people ranking up and hitting different things. It just becomes fun. And again, you're rewarded with a cool trip. So the other part that we want to cover today, because normally we take this time to go over the onboarding, but now we've put together a video so you can watch that video over and over and over and learn where the tools are on This Is It info and This Is It team. We covered some of that today, the tracker that we have, all the different stuff as far as the Google Docs and stuff like that. But there's a system that's on the site itself. So when you go to This Is It team and you basically go over to basically the fourth tab over here, you'll see This Is It, the 10-step system. And every successful business has a system. The one thing I love about Steve and Gina, they're very system people. They made over $50 million prior to coming to Lifewave. And they said they're taking their knowledge of what to do, how to do it. And they've taken a lot of money, a lot of expertise, and the whole team working on this. And they put together a 10-step system on this. So the 10-step system is pretty simple. Literally, I'm going to have to move this thing. Here we go. So the very first thing is determine your why. Set some goals. Once again, make some commitments, because it is just like anything. If you say, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do, whatever the things you want, the goals you're going to do, you got to make some commitments to make it happen. It's not just going to happen by flipping through, watching TV all day long, right? The activity steps are basically building a list of people, contacting and inviting. We're going to talk a little bit about this. The opportunity, sharing the opportunity with people, revisiting a follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. Then once again, getting people started. So once again, then you want to counsel with the people that you're working with. The one thing I love about the leaders that are all growing, or we're talking to them pretty much every day. They're contacting me and say, hey, I got this going on. Hey, do you mind doing a 3-way call with this person? Hey, do you mind doing this? Those are the ones that are growing. I've had people say, well, I really don't want to bug you. Trust us, bug us. Same thing with Josh. I said, please abuse Josh. He abused me, so please abuse him. No, but you literally utilize us. Chuck is one of the best people I've ever seen. Chuck and Diane, they actually are great at actually saying, hey, can we do a 3-way call with this person? I want to introduce a new member of the team. Hey, I'm talking to this person. He's interested in the business. Do you mind talking to this person? That is absolutely brilliant, because once again, leverage the other people. If you have children, your children don't listen to you. You could have a stranger tell them the same thing that you've told them 10 times. And they'll say, Dad, you know, someone told me this today. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I've been telling you that for over and over, but I don't say that. I'm like, that's fantastic. I'm glad you learned that. Man, what was that again? So it's pretty cool. So again, the last thing is just, once again, is just kind of, you know, repeat the pattern over and over and over. So how this works is pretty simple. If I can go clicking here. So the first thing is that, once again, one thing we're talking about today is the activity loop, which is basically building a list. We're going to talk about contacting, inviting, talk about the opportunity, share the opportunity with people. How do we do that? Once again, and revisiting, what we want to do is follow up with people. That is the number one thing with this. You can talk to people all the time. Most people aren't going to follow up with you. You need to be having the steering wheel, and actually you driving it and basically following other people and then getting people started. So again, the real loop here is, once again, I call them IPAs. They're income producing activities. This is what it is. You can determine your why. You should be driven by your dream, or you can set goals. You can make commitments. You can watch videos. You can do all kinds of stuff. But it's until you make a list and pick up the phone and contact people that things start happening. So I want to play a video, and I think this is brilliant. It's actually, this was sent to us. Danny McDaniel has a growing team like crazy. They made over 45 million prior to coming to Lifewave. They know how to build massive teams, and they're doing that. And there's a gentleman on their team. I want you to hear this. We sent this video out last week. Some of you watched it or listened to it. I've got a guy in here, I think he said he listened to like 7 times. We're going to play it for you right now. I really want you to listen. Get out your pen and paper and listen to what he says, because there's some keys to why he's been so successful his very first month. So listen to this video.
Insights with right now and what you're doing, because you know you guys are really hot, and Joe Navarro's one of them. So Joe, I think you've been sticking with this. You know, tell these guys what's happening, because you just started a brush fire.
This
Or-
hit director,
New director.
Yeah,
Went to Connor Earner
yeah,
in less than
let's
30.
go.
yeah.
So what's happening?
Yeah. So I think the key for me is, and first off, you know, praise God for, you know, being under your mentorship for many years. You were my pastor. You were my, you know, you weren't my leader and advocate, but you took me in as an adopted son and, you know, poured into me. So what I have brought to this opportunity is, you know, 12 years of experience. However, I didn't have a single team member. I didn't bring a team over here. I started with a list of 220 names, and I went through that list and I meant business. And I think the most important thing that I have right now is we go from hope to belief to knowing. You know, some of you have hope right now. Some of you believe, but some of you know. So I went through 17 months, like I started this the same month that Andy started, this business. And after 17 months, and I'm grateful for my opportunity with this other company, learned a lot. But after 17 months, my check there is going to be around $5,000 this month, maybe a little bit more. And here, my first month, I made $5,800. $5,800. I'm already at $1,500 for the week. I'm on pace to make over $6,000 in my second month. That's possible here. So what I'm doing is I'm just picking up the phone. I want people to hear my voice. I want them to hear my passion. I want to pique them. All I'm doing is piquing them, whether if I can't get them on the phone, I'm messaging them, letting them hear my voice, or Facebook messaging them saying, give me a call. You got to hear this. And I'm not spending a whole lot of time. I'm not spending 100 minutes on one person. I'm spending 3 minutes, 3 minutes here, 5, and just piquing them. And, even taking what you said, Danny, hey, what do you know about stem cells? And then shutting up and then saying, listen, I've got my hands on a stem cell reactivation patch. The miracles are happening. And I'll share like 2 or 3 stories. 2 or 3 stories is all I'm sharing, giving them the link. I'm not doing anything outside of that, getting them on. Guys, it's eyeballs on Zooms, eyeballs on Zooms, eyeballs on Zooms. You got to know the calendar. You got to help your new people know the calendar. And then you got to put some words in their mouth, like who are your best people? Like, let's go invite them, and really putting courage in people, and really not just talking to anyone, but their best people, because this opportunity requires the best. It is the best. So it requires the best of you. We want to talk to the best people. We want to get this in the hands of the best people, and people are hurting. There's not a single person out there that doesn't need this. And so I'm just so grateful that I don't think people understand what we have their hands on. Like you said, Danny, this ain't mediocre. This ain't hype. When you go from 20 million just a few 4 or 5 years ago to 430 million, you want to be in that. We are in the explosive growth momentum. People from the outside are looking in. It's like, you can't do anything to stop this. So you can either get on board and roll with it and have the greatest time ever, or you can look back and say, man, I had an opportunity. So this is it, guys. This is it. Let's go. Oh, I want to say one more thing too. I'm not the only one. Penny, she's followed us everywhere. Penny made $3,100 in 10 days, guys. $3,100 in 10 days. Wow. Because she's being coachable. She's getting out of her comfort zone. And there's shout out to everyone out here, all of our team. You guys are doing amazing, but love you guys.
Well, that's awesome. Well, don't mute yet, because, another thing that you and I even talked about, which, we were talking to Ricky and Carrie about this afternoon when we were just going over the team call tonight, because Diane and I, what you don't know is 10 months ago, when Diane and I started working the business in August of last year, we did a tremendous amount of getting people on launch Zooms very quickly. Me and Diane were doing sometimes three or 4 Zooms a day. And it was with, hey, who do you know? Get them on a Zoom. So we'd get on a Zoom with 3 or 4 of their best people, or 6 or 8 of their best people. And so we just rallied people on one Zoom after another and did presentations, and we got off to a rocket ship start. And I know everybody doesn't have time to do 3 or 4 Zooms a day. So don't lose hope if you don't have time to do 3 or 4 Zooms a day. But, everybody has time for 1 Zoom a day without being overwhelmed. That's not overwhelming, because we all have time to watch 1 series episode a day, or 1 game show a day, or something like that. But anyway, Joe, tell these guys what your feelings are about rounding their best people up quickly and getting them on a long Zoom.
Yeah. So, I learned from, I think even Danny years ago, amateurs join, champions launch. And so as a former coach, how do we keep it simple for someone when they get started? Instead of saying, go to your back office, do this, this, and this. How about let's just start with go to championmakers.com, get connected, and then pick a launch Zoom, pick a date. This is what I'm doing to my people. All right, I'm just giving them, here's the schedule. The Zooms are on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central, Thursday, 8 p.m. Central, or their ladies Zoom Tuesday at this time, or Friday during the day. Which day works best for you? Thursday, great. Now we're going to come up with your list. Who are your best people that you want to get in front of this? Chiropractors, doctors, network marketers, influential people, leaders. Who are those people? Great. Here's what we're going to say to them. I'm going to put words in their mouth and say, I'm not going to let you off the hook. We're not calling. We're not texting people. That's weak. We're going to pick up the phone and call them. Right. And then so giving them some words. Hey, listen, I'm calling you for a specific reason, Danny. Do you have a couple minutes? Great. What do you know about stem cells? And just shut up and listen, but then say, listen, I've got my hands on, and it's an amazing invention. This is the stem cell reactivation patch. Lives are changing. When people get on this, there is miracle after miracle after miracle. I'm not the scientist, so I'm not going to explain how it's happening. I can just send you a quick link. You can watch the video, but I just know that you're going to be impressed and you're going to want to get on this. And then cast a little bit of vision. It's your personal vision, it's your team vision, and it's the corporate vision. Guys, the corporate vision, what other company went from 20 million just 4 years ago to 430 million? You say that, and then we're on the fastest growing team that's outpacing the company, and just giving them it, and just invite them. So that's what we're doing, just keeping it simple, eyeballs on Zooms, and starting there.
Wow.
Amazing. So again, hold on a second, let me stop this real quick. The one thing I want to share with you on this again is that when you understand that is not uncommon. I'm just telling you right now, there's a new senior presidential director that hit it in
9 days.
9 days. Now, again, these are people that have been involved in networking, so that's uncommon from that standpoint. But the thing you understand is if people have the right fire, the right belief, the right desire, you can actually accomplish things very quickly.
And the right activity.
Yeah, exactly.
The right activity. And what I really liked about what he said is pick up the phone. A lot of times people are texting and nobody really cares to look at text.
Yep.
Honestly, they take their time to reply and they want to hear your voice. When they hear excitement in your voice, it catches them.
Yep.
And they want to know, what on earth are you doing? I want to know more. So don't be afraid to pick up the phone and your chicken list. Really go after your chicken list, because you want to start there and you want to launch, like he said, champions launch.
Yep. Amateurs join.
And you don't just want to sit here and be a part of something. You want to run with it and you want to make a difference. So
I want to challenge you, because that's one thing that we've been doing is saying, okay, who are the people you think about it? You go, I don't want to call that person. Is the person already successful? Or I talked to him a while ago about another business or whatever it is. Those are the people you want to talk to. I'll tell you that right now. And the only thing I can tell you is he said, who are the best people you know? And then he said, I'm putting words in their mouth because you want to talk to people. But what he was talking about was launch events. Now, we did several this past week. We're helping people do that. If someone goes, well, I don't know about this launch event. What do you do? So we do the presentation. Josh does it. Chuck does it. Other people do the presentations. Whoever the leaders are, a lot of times we'll engage you to do part of it if you want to. We did several this past week where we had people do the first part and we covered the second part. We had the people that say, hey, do you mind doing the whole thing? Absolutely. Whatever you want to do. But they were doing them in their living rooms with a Zoom link. Basically, we're on the Zoom with them on their TV plugged in, and literally they were doing there. But we have other people that say, well, do you mind if I just get people on Zoom? I know Gary Burke is a perfect example. He did 2 big Zooms right away. And that's how I went manager. Like, he's going to be a director like that too. He already broke a manager, his first one. So when you understand what happens here is that if you say, I want to get this in front of, I don't care if it's 2, 3, 4, 5 people, whatever it is. We've had people that have had 20 people on. That's exciting. But even with 2, 3, 4 people, you can interact with them. But what did they do to get there? They didn't just text people and hope they're going to jump on. They picked up the phone. They called them. They heard their excitement. And I want my wife to share a minute. She doesn't know she's doing this, but she had, just the other day, she had 6 people because, again, she reached out to. So tell them about kind of what you did.
Yeah, well, I just, first and foremost, like he said, you don't take a lot of time. You just ask the question and then be quiet and let them say what they know about the product or what they know about stem cells, and then take the conversation further. But you have to, you're not going to run down a rabbit hole with anybody. You're not going to spend an hour and a half talking to them. You want them to know that you are busy, that you're moving along, and your time is worth it. So, I make a concerted effort, and, I'm not the only one, because I hear Steve and Gina, and we're learning from the best. I hear them say, you decide the night before, you set your appointments. They're already set. So you don't wake up in the morning thinking, what am I going to do today? Set the appointment. And then, do you want to
I
come
got
to
that. Go ahead.
So set the appointments and then go at it. And so just Friday, I mean, I had 6 appointments set, and every single one of those people is moving on. And every single one of them was excited, and every one of them, and whether it's for their health or whether it's for financial gain, but every one of them said, wow, it sounds like it's pretty exciting. Because I mean, when and the other thing is, which I wanted to say, we're not going to just hope that we get to senior presidential director. We're not just going to hope that we win. We're not just going to believe, oh, maybe someday I believe I will be, but we know we are winning. We know we are winning. Just like he said, this is it. This is it. I mean, it's the writing's on the wall. So what more do we have to say? And, I just know that everyone has the potential. We're not the only ones. Josh isn't, Chuck isn't the only one. Stephen, Gina aren't, Diane and Danny aren't. Every single one of us can win at this.
Yes.
The whole thing is we all have a list of people. We all have names. I sometimes say to people, well, have you called everyone in your phone? You tell me that you don't know anybody, but have you called everyone in your phone? The other big thing is, and we took this when Steve and Gina, when we first got started, he made it quite clear, 20 personals on your left and 20 personals on your right.
Yeah.
If
in
you
90
have,
days, that's what he told us.
if
90
you-
days, do that.
And if you have not done that yet, I would recommend do it and do it again. 20 personals left, 20 personals right. And the explosion, the fire starts to happen from underneath and burns up. So the excitement, the explosion is happening. It's exponential growth, and don't give up at one no. Don't give up at one no.
Yeah.
You need to learn to go for the no's.
Yeah.
When you go for no's, you're winning.
Yes. And I gotta let you know, one thing that we do, we pray every day. Josh does this. We've prayed with people on our team. We're going to pray for you guys, because what happens, we expect divine appointments. We literally do. We bump into people. We have people call us. We say, Lord, burden the hearts of other people to put our names on their hearts to reach out to us. You know how many calls we get on a regular basis, people we haven't talked to in years? Or if you think of a name, you think of somebody, there's a reason for it. Oh, I forgot about that guy. I went to high school with him. Give him a call, find him, look him up on Facebook, if you know a number, whatever it is. There's a reason why you thought that person. It's not by accident. There's a reason why my wife said, hey, have you given Josh and Paula a call yet? I said, let me give them a call today. Literally, that's how Josh and we got connected. Because again, we talked for different things, but it's the same thing that happens. Is like how Josh talked about these divine appointments, how he met Brenton at church. He just happened to talk about this at church and all this kind of stuff. All these things don't happen by accident. Josh says to me, he goes, well, what do you think I should do? I talk about BNI. He goes, well, I'm going to go visit a bunch of BNIs. A bunch of you are on here because of Josh visiting these different BNIs. Now, once again, all that means is that, once again, if you're willing to do something, and we basically made the commitment, 3 people a day, talk to 3 people, 3 new people, not the same 3 people over and over and over, 3 new people a day, follow up with 3 people a day, and get 1 person to on a Zoom. He even said that, eyeballs on Zoom, eyeballs on Zoom, eyeballs on, know the calendar, getting people on the Monday meeting, getting people on the Wednesday meeting, getting people on Josh's Thursday meeting, getting people on these trainings. Once again, the different stuff like that. We got the Sunday night meeting. So because people are saying, I'm busy during the week. Well, how about Sunday night? You stop watching whatever you're watching and just jump on this for a few minutes, right?
And there are a lot of international meetings. So
Yes.
if you have people that are connected internationally, they do Australia, they do UK, and we do one for Europe and South Africa.
Yep,
So
every Monday
so
at 1 o'clock Eastern.
get
So,
your people on there, and
Yep.
there's enough. We don't need to what's the word I'm looking for? Create our own system.
Mhm.
There is already a system,
Yep.
and it's proven. And so we just follow the system, and
Yep.
we duplicate, and we teach other people to do it. Makes it
Yep.
very simple.
Yes. So we're going to get back to this and have Josh kind of wrap up the last part here because there's an incentive that we put together. So Josh, I appreciate him so much because he's a tremendous leader. If you're part of his team, you're a very blessed individual. He works like we do. Again, he works a full-time job, but he takes a lot of time helping people with this. And he's an absolutely phenomenal leader. So again, Josh, if you want to take it from here, that would be awesome.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you for your leadership and adjusting to our team here as well. And so we can, the reason we're doing this, guys, is to make it simple and duplicatable for everyone. So this isn't just for those of you that are on this call. This is for your team. This is for the people that you're putting into the business. Just think of this as this is that platform that you want to do this. So we have so many great leaders on our team. One of them that we heard speak last week and this past Thursday is Chuck Williams, who's going to take us through this next couple sections here.
Thanks, Josh. And Greg and Mena, that was just phenomenal training. We love having you guys leading this team. And as you said, we're all fortunate to be on your team and Josh's team. And this gold rush is something that you three really brainstormed and said, how can we bless our people even more? And so you guys dipped into your own pockets like you've seen other leaders do. And you both said, let's put $500 each into a pot and encourage our people to win. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you're part of Greg and Mena's team or part of Josh's team is all part of their team. Both the teams have kind of separated for this contest. So Josh's team is one big group, and then everybody else in Greg and Mena's team that's not in Josh's group is in their pot. And so what they've done is from the dates listed, June 10th until July 13th, if you enroll one personal gold, you get 2 points or 2 chances in the drawing. If you enroll one diamond, you get 4 chances or points in this contest. There's going to be 2 winners. Greg and Mena are going to pull one, and Josh is going to pull one. Now, the cool thing about this is, for those of you that say, oh, I really could use $500, you go out and sign up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 golds. Guess what? You're making $100 on every gold just to begin with. So it's a win-win for the person coming in and you. But you've increased your chances of winning that $500 Gold Rush bonus. However, what I really love about this contest, it could be the last day of the contest. You've not enrolled a single gold. You've not enrolled a single diamond. And in most contests, you got no chance to win. People are way ahead of you. Guess what? You get 1 gold that last day, and that chance, those 2 chances that you get could win you $500. So I love this contest. Work it hard, get as many chances as you can, and remember, everybody wins. Now, with that being said, if somebody really wants to come in at silver, don't force them to come in at gold so you got 2 chances to win the contest. Always do what's best for the person. Understand the value of going gold, and it'll be an easy sell. But if you're trying to force people to go gold so you can win the contest, that stinks, and it'll come through. So don't do that. However, walk them through the benefits of being a gold. And if they have any desire to share this with others or build a business, it just makes sense to come in as a gold. I do want to share just a couple of things real quick if I could, Josh. I just want to reemphasize what Greg and Mena were talking about. When we came in, we went senior director in 90 days or less from the time we launched our business. We had a launch meeting. You heard that gentleman talk about it. You heard Greg and Mena talk about it. If you haven't had your launch meeting yet, just schedule one. Just do it. I invited a whole bunch of people to my home to launch my business. Guess how many showed up? My daughter, her husband, my granddaughter, and one guy, Joe Finn. That's it. That's all that showed up. That was the first time I saw the compensation plan. It was when Josh did the presentation there in my living room. But 90 days later, we're senior director, and we made over $10,000 in our first 90 days. Now, with that being said, I'm just telling you, the system they're teaching works. Go manager as fast as you can. The reason you want to go manager is to position yourself to earn 25% on every personal cycle bonuses of your personals. Every cycle bonus they earn every week. As a manager, you get a 25% check match. That alone is worth going manager. So if you're on this call and you're not a manager, get with the person who invites you and come up with a plan and go manager as fast as possible. But then the other key is you don't just sit around and hope other people make you money. You put 20 on your right, 20 on your left. And as Josh teaches, go back and forth, back and forth. I like to do all on one side, then come back and do all the other side because it creates very fast momentum. People see people coming in very fast. But that's exactly what we did. To go senior director in 90 days, we went manager in about a week, maybe a week and a half, and then we put 20 on our right and 20 on our left, and then bam, director and senior director happened. It don't just happen, obviously, but you lay that foundation like Steve and Gina Merritt teach us and our leaders teach us, it will happen for you too. So that's the main thing I want to talk about today, Josh, Greg, and Mena. I love you guys and appreciate you. Josh, do you want to come back to me for the closing prayer, or are we there yet?
Yeah, we're there, Chuck. Take it away, brother. Thank you so much.
All right. I love the fact that we honor God on our teams here, and we're going to just close in prayer. Father God, I thank you for this opportunity to be part of this amazing team. I thank you for 30 years in this industry to be prepared for this exact team, this exact place, this exact product where we can literally help people experience healing through a patch. Now, we know you're the ultimate healer. We know that it's your stem cells that you created that heal our body, but we have a tool, a vehicle to help reactivate stem cells and watch our friends and loved ones be healed. Lord, this is so much fun. Help us to ignore the noses. Mena was saying, don't let one nose slow you down. How about don't let 100 no's slow you down? It doesn't matter how many people tell us no. There are people out there praying right now for what we have. Help us to find those people. Help us to be persistent and not take those no's, but just keep loving our people until they're ready to try this incredible product and then eventually become part of our incredible team. God, I thank you for our leadership. I thank you for just every single person involved. Listen to my voice right now, whether it's a recording or whether they're live. Let them know, speak to them in their spirit that they too can do this. They can overcome their fear. They can take action, and they will be successful. They just need to find those right people, and you will put those people in their path. With all this, I pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. That is amazing. That is awesome. Yes. Thank you for that. So again, it's up to you guys. Again, we're willing to stay on if anybody has any questions about what we were going through. Again, I'd say get together, like just what Chuck was saying, what Josh was saying, get together with your team. Once again, we're here to empower you, to help you. We want to help you win. So again, those launch meetings are critical. So whatever we can do to help you grow, let us know. So Josh, did you have anything else you wanted to share real quick?
Yeah, last two things, guys, is, Chuck talks about the launch meeting. We've got a Dr. Amy Wicks and I are going out to Washington, Missouri on Tuesday. And right now she said, I've got 40 people registered that committed to go to this thing. So this is somebody just strong say, hey, we're blowing this thing up. So they are so powerful when people come to your own house. The other thing that I just want to make sure everybody that we're, I think Mena said it great. We are not here to recreate the wheel. The system is not ours. It's Steve and Gina Merritt's and what they've done, they've accomplished. We're just making it easy and plugging into theirs and doing ours so we can have some Q&A and some dialogue amongst you guys with this thing to make it simple, make it a little bit more of a home. But please don't use just our system and just do the Sundays and the in-person meetings. We make sure you're plugging into what Steve and Gina Merritt are doing as well on Monday nights, on Wednesday nights. Because if you're doing your own Zooms and you're talking to people, when you watch these a lot, Mondays and Wednesdays, you pick up more and you pick up more and you pick up more. It gets confident with it. The Saturday trainings, if you're not watching the Saturday trainings, oh my goodness, are you missing out? There was a great one they did this past Saturday, yesterday, especially for ladies out there. Was phenomenal. So you've got to watch these things, spend the time. If you're not available, watch the recording on YouTube, but don't just jump on just our stuff is what I'm saying. Do that, put your people on it, but we've got to use this system as Steve and Gina Merritt because that is so duplicatable and they are rock stars. But thank you guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the people that didn't have anybody and that just wants to continue to plug in to this thing and helping us grow this thing and bless so many people. So love you guys. This is just such an awesome team.
Awesome. Absolutely. And I was gonna let you know, Monday, Carrie Robertson is actually doing the meeting at 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock Eastern time. She's phenomenal. She does one of the best plans. Also a lady that's just on fire, senior presidential director. And it's amazing that also Dr. Tony Smith, who's a chiropractor out in California, is doing the meeting on Wednesday. So again, just to let you know those different meetings. So all once again, tying to everything you can, tie people into it. The belief is there. We're momentum. We're growing like crazy. So we just want to tie people into that. So otherwise,
and don't forget, those of you close to Sarasota, Florida,
Yes.
You want to get there on Saturday, get your people there. We're going to pack the room up.
If you say Florida, a lot of people are driving from Orlando, from Tampa,
Lakeland.
from Lakeland, Fort Myers and Naples coming in all over the place. So again, we're drawing a big crowd and it will be packed, just to let you know. It's going to be the St. Louis type meeting. It's going to be fun. So, but besides that, if anybody has any things they want to put in there, I didn't see any, I know we put the URL in there. So hold on a second. Let me stop the recording here real quick.